What is going on, everyone? It's DC3 Johnson here with another Madden 21 franchise mode video, continuing our coverage here of the Arizona Cardinals franchise mode. So we are in season 2, and it is going to be a divisional matchup against the Rams that we're going to go ahead and cover in this video. Always, always fun, especially considering, the Rams. They always, I think they have a really good roster. I know they didn't do too well last year with their season, but hopefully now with Stafford, obviously we still have Jared Goff in our franchise mode, but definitely I think the Rams will be a team that's going to be, and I personally think the NFC West, which is I think why I'm always so intrigued to play, it's like the toughest division. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get to the action here. So starting our first drive, so we do end up receiving. We end up getting the nice pass there to DeAndre Hopkins, who has been pretty much a solid offense here. Right now we do get the sack there, so it does force the third down, but we are able to unfortunately throw it. Unfortunately, it ends up being an incomplete pass, and so we do go for the field goal from the 35-yard line. It ends up being good. So good job to Zane Gonzalez, who kicked possibly a very, very tough kick. Anyway, we on the next drive here, unfortunately the Rams end up coming up empty on it, and so we end up starting once again to DeAndre Hopkins, just trying to basically start where we left off. And once again, look at this, he's got two-man coverage. It doesn't really matter. Hopkins is still able to kind of get the nice pass there, which ends up leaving Kyler Murray, and look at him celebrate. Kyler Murray ends up getting the rushing touchdown credit, which for the fantasy football people, they're stoked. They're like, oh, that's 6 points that's going to my league right there. And guys, I always love fantasy football season. Like, to me, like, it's always good. I've been a part of a couple in the past recent years. I just love it so much that I end up doing my own. I end up doing an NFL one, and I end up doing a couple with friends and all that. The energy we get is just so good, especially the first couple of weeks. I know people kind of get a little unmotivated in the middle part of the season, as we end up getting a flag there. More than likely, it's because I passed the line of scrimmage, and so they end up having us to push us back here. Third down, fumble here. Unfortunately, we end up taking too long to throw it away, and so the Rams end up getting a field goal on that possession. So moving on up. But going back to the fantasy football thing, like, wow, like, I know people get kind of like a little discouraged in the middle part of the season, but then when we end up going back to like the last 4 weeks of the, like, kind of like when it's like regular season and playoff time, just absolutely fantastic. And I know that's one of the things we like to do, is just kind of look at the halves and just be like, damn, I need this person to do a touchdown. I need a rushing touchdown. And I remember last year, before we knew it was Drew Brees' final season, I had Drew Brees as my quarterback, and I remember there was a time where I was just like, no, like don't give it to don't give it to Cook, like, or don't get. I forget who. I'm starting to forget who the runner was, but I was like, I need you to throw it. I need you to throw it to get the pass the touchdown credit. As Kyler Murray ends up rushing it here for about 23 yards, and so he has just passed over 50. Look at this. He's still on the floor. He's just kind of making that dramatic move right there, just showing the home crowd he's not afraid to take a tackle. And so we end up getting the pass there to Mr. Washington, who has been one of the guys we acquired earlier this season as part of the thing that we want to make sure we have receivers for next year. Because remember, guys, our team is going to have to start spending some deep salary as we end up intercepting here. We got Christian Kirk's contract coming up. Next year we'll have Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. So we need to worry about the long-term solution of this franchise. And so with that being said, we have to start rotating some of the receivers here and kind of work on, kind of like, I guess I'll put it into perspective in the NBA for those of us that watched the Big Three dynasty in Miami. You had players like Greg Anthony and Mario Chalmers, who, I'm not saying that they were bad players, but they were kind of like players that were signed because of the limited resources that were available to the Miami franchise. Because as soon as they got rid of them, or as soon as the Big Three was over in Miami, they all kind of just went their separate ways, because obviously they had more options, more salary options. And so I think that that's what's going to happen here with some of our receivers is we're going to have Christian Kirk and Hopkins, and then we're going to have to kind of rotate between rookies, and or veteran contracts. And so with that being said, here in the third quarter, close game. It is 24-17. Unfortunately, we ended up botching the second quarter with 2 interceptions there. Then unfortunately ended up bringing the Rams within striking distance. Looks like we got an injury on my left guard, James Daniels, who has been solid for us in recent memory. But obviously Josh Jones, guys, Josh Jones, always a clutch player. Kyler Murray ends up getting another rushing touchdown, so that is another 6 points for them. Look at the energy. I just love the team chemistry here with our guys. It's just absolutely fantastic. Kyler Murray, just a fabulous player. I endorse Kyler Murray too much. To me, it reminds me a lot of like Zion Williamson when I was like watching Zion in college and Duke. I just kept endorsing Zion Williamson. I was like, Zion Williamson, guys. Like, and I still remember that game before when they were doing the conference tournaments before the March Madness. And I remember he went 13-13 against Syracuse. I was like, yeah, this guy's for sure the #1 pick. Like, there's no doubt it's Zion Williamson. And so with that being said, fast forward a little bit into the third quarter, guys. So once again, no available options. Murray's going to run for it. Tackle's coming, so he ends up rushing it out of bounds for 144 yards. That is fantastic. And obviously Sean McVay's like pissed. He's just like, bro, what am I paying my defense for? Well, they end up getting a sack for the defense there, so at least they're doing something. They might not be able to stop everything, but they're doing something. And so we end up getting our third option, Isabella, a nice pass there. Once again, a dive here for Mr. Kyler Murray. And so look at this, he's just having fun out there. Goes past 150 yards, flags on the floor, guys. So let's see what the refs call here. So just be skeptical.
So let's see what this is about.
And so it's a defensive passer interference. Sean McVay arguing with the ref. Not really much we're going to do. Of course, we're going to decline the penalty. We'll take the touchdown. And shout out to Fetty Wap, 1738. It just ended up happening that way. I remember, oh my God, I remember 2015, 2016. Like, everyone was in love with Trap Queen. Like, just a fantastic song. Still catchy to this day. When I listen to it on the radio, I'm just like, damn, throwback. It kind of reminds me of, when I started high school in 2011, like, everyone was in love with Black and Yellow from Wiz Khalifa. Like, when they hear that, everyone will be getting turned. And so, look at just Christian Kirk, just one more time having to take a quick look at this fantastic pass. So just look at this. He ends up going, it just reminds me of the helmet catch almost in a sense, because he just kind of lifts his body up, arcs it a certain way so his feet don't go out of bounds, and ends up being a touchdown pass there. And so now we end up getting our #1 pass option, DeAndre Hopkins, his second receiving touchdown. I believe that should put him close to 1,000 yards. I think he was really close to it at this point. And so just another impossible touch. And there it is, 1,000 receiving yards this season, guys. And it's only been a few games, so already a fantastic start for them. And so with that being said, guys, we end up dominating the second half, especially that third and fourth quarter. The Rams end up scoring 14, but unfortunately not really much they can do there. The closest they got to us was the 24-17 at the start of the third quarter. Always a fantastic matchup to be against the Rams here. And so just looking at some of the highlights here, like just that fantastic catch from DeAndre Hopkins. Really, everything kind of clicked together. Yes, we had unfortunately some interceptions there, but we were able to get it away. So there you see 4 takeaways. Unfortunately, the Rams just were unable to capitalize here on this occasion here, guys. So with that being said, guys, I'll go ahead and leave the video right here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for the next one, guys. Take care and stay safe out there.